Wind can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job. You can see that.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Indianapolis Colts. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout. Here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Watch 85.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing.
Young working out of the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 36. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Now that's a great play defensively, and one thing we do know, both of the corners are going to face a lot of action in this game, the way that offense likes to fling it around.
The safeties, they better be ready to be engaged as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And the kick here is good with a penalty flag down as well, and they may have run into him after the kick went away. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. A run by Mack to start the drive. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Here's Young from the shotgun. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
And that's one of the reasons you like the blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Young on 3rd and 2. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 22-yard line. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, Young. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Young. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. He's at the 50, 30, 10, 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Hey. We got 3. We got 3.
Young. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.
Keep getting those touchdowns.
Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season.
And it's blocked. The Colts have it. be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry about it. It's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax. Whoa.
Bad move. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And they just get the play off. Now Young. He completes this one to Mack. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at about the 28. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll check it down to Geis. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Strip the ball.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Flushed out right. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
At their own 20-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Throwing. Young. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Young. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go. Let's go, defense.
From the 41, Young going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 39 yards there, a big one. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball.
Throwing on 2nd down. Young. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. That one complete. He finds Shark. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Let's go. Team on the base.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared. Mike 17.
Trump.
Team. Wild Bill.
Young from the gun, he'll throw. He sets to fire deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And taken right at the 35. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Browns drive about to get started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Still game on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Go, D. Let's go.
Rush in.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Marcus Peters on the cover.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll throw now on the final play. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 29-yard line.
Let's go.
The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 8. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Browns' 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Young now, operating from the gun. He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Meanwhile, the throw by Young was knocked away and incomplete. Batted away by the rookie out of Kentucky, Lonnie Johnson.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Mike, check, 59. Stop your whining.
Back to throw here. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
What we got? That's it. Shut up.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Open man right side is Shark. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
1st down, Browns.
Here we go.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to Geis. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Let's go. Go to base. 59. Hey, let's get there. Max box.
On play action, they'll throw. This is caught. A very solid gain of 27. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Kenny Moore that time there on the coverage. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
All day, every day.
2nd and 2. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Kyle Fuller there defensively.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
From the 2-yard line yet again. Let's see what they can do on 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
We got 4. I got 87.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Let's go now. Henry. I got you. Let's go. Come on. You're all mine, baby. Get this. You're all mine.
It's Young on 1st down. Uncorks one for Davis. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
It's our time. It's our time.
I got you.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Going top shelf for Smith. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there for the Browns. 42 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
54. Mike 54.
They're going to look to throw, and this is going to be incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Geis. Touchdown! Darius Geis with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
On 2nd and 11 now. Young, he'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. Back now in Indianapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Colts on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Young. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point splits the uprights. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go. Come on. Set. 17 for Pittsburgh. Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. To the right side to Eric Ebron. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Colts on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8.
17's Mike. Mike 17.
Young working out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 23. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on here to punt it away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now That's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 18. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
Brings up 3rd and 11.
Ready. 66. Bullet. Half. Come on. Touchdown. Watch twins. Watch.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, standing just outside his own goal line. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the...
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. DJ Chark with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started, and a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he fends him off. Steps away to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for our visitors, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.